evening. Oh, welcome to Not Talk West Ham. We're going to do Talk West Ham tonight. A show where you phone in, but not enough people wanted to phone in. There was only one person. So we thought, well, we said we'd do a video. And last night, ex-West Ham employee and Dave Walker did their podcast, The West Ham Way, and X obviously gives his transfer update with Johnny around the corner. There was a lot of names that were rumoured to be linked in, and it ties in nicely with the video Gonzo did earlier. If you watch that about the scouting and stuff, and when you look at these names, you would maybe suggest that his point has been proven. there's no imagination. We might come to a conclusion at the end of the video.
I don't know what you're going to say, but I don't know what names you're going to say, by the way. But now I've got an inkling when you get to the Peter Crouch bit.
We're not far off Peter Crouch, to be honest with you. There's some we're going to score off. I've wrote them all down because there's quite a few. There's some we're going to score off because we've already discussed them. So Jack Butland, Begovic and Randolph have all been linked with us again. Score them off. We've already discussed them. But Jack Butland's mate has been linked to us now. It's not the first time either. Joe Allen.
No. Oh, how old is he? 35?
He's 29 now.
Okay.
Yeah, but 15 million is a touted price for him.
15 million?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not for me, mate.
No, he's a bit... I would have liked him 3 years ago. I would have loved him 3 years ago. He's very like the Welsh Scott Parker, isn't he? But now... I don't know. When I read that, I thought, no! Last night, 2 nights ago, we discussed that Sander Burge. Is that his name?
Yes.
Sander Burge, don't know him, but for £6 million more and a lot younger with bigger potential and stuff, I'd much rather take a punt. You know, when you pay 15, you might as well pay 20, I think. The difference isn't that much. But Joe Allen, I mean...
Well, he ticks all the boxes, doesn't he? He's a journeyman, he's old, he's slow. It's exactly what we like at West Ham at the moment. It lacks any sort of invention as well. I was going to say ambition. It's not ambition. Because actually, he's been a decent player in his time. At Swansea, he was a very, very good player. And he's played well for Wales. I'm not saying there's not a player in there. But this is exactly right. Funny enough, we were talking the other day, somebody mentioned on a cup of tea about Cantwell. And whilst, as you remarked at the time, that's somebody that maybe we don't need because we do have a lot of players that play in his position. That is a sort of player in terms of age profile, up and coming, and knocking on the under-21s. They're going to be knocking on the senior team before too long. That's exactly right. Joe Allen is a journeyman. He is slow. He is at the end of his career. And I would suggest totally overpriced at 15 million. We've got to stop doing this as often as we do, which is buying players that either don't have a resale value or after they've been with us a while are worth less than what we paid for them.
Yeah.
This is not particularly good practice at the moment.
Yeah, it's not for me, this one. I'm going to stick with the centre midfielders. I'm going to try and get through the centre midfielders. I've written them down in a very obscure order. Victor Wanyama has been linked again. Now, what were you laughing about that one? I actually quite like him, to be fair. I think he's a good player. I think he goes straight into our midfield, by the way. But I was just laughing because, again, he's probably late 20s and so on and so forth. Yeah. The only difference between Wanyama now compared to Wanyama 6 months ago, because in the summer we said, we didn't mind him as a backup for Declan or to play alongside Declan. Since then, in the last week, Daniel Levy's basically said, we are not afraid to sell to our rivals. That's what he said. Now, he's not meaning West Ham. I think he's meaning Man United with Eriksen. I think that's who he's very much alluding to here. But you do wonder, well, okay then, maybe there is possibility for him to come to West Ham. But it's just solid signing, but not exciting. Okay, I want excitement. I want a little bit of excitement. And that's what I would say that it is. If it was a loan deal, I think that would be a perfect loan deal, Wanyama. I think he would be really good to have on loan, but I wouldn't want to spend much money on him, which is the problem. Sticking in the Premier League, someone we're linked with heavily in the summer is Isaac Caden, Newcastle's centre midfield. Any thoughts on him, or do you think that ship has sailed for you?
Well, I just don't think we'd get him now. I mean, there was rumours at the time that he wanted to come down to London.
I don't know if that is still the case. I wouldn't have a problem bringing him in, by the way. And I don't think it ticks the exciting box that you were saying about. But not everyone's got to be exciting. Sometimes he certainly does. I think he would get straight into the midfield as well, because I think he brings an energy that other people haven't got. Actually, energy is the wrong word. It indicates that other people aren't trying; they are. But he brings athleticism that others perhaps don't have. But he is. He's doing really well under Steve Bruce, and I think he probably started the season thinking, not knowing if he would feature or not knowing if he really wanted to be there. I don't know. I mean, Newcastle's a better place to be than West Ham at the moment, isn't it? So I'm not so sure he would want to leave now.
I think it would be a good sign. I think when I said excited sign, I don't necessarily mean in terms of flair. I mean as in terms of a player you look at and think, oh yeah, that would be a damn good purchase. One of these players is an exciting signing, and he's certainly not flair, but we'll get onto that in a bit. But he would be good. He'd be a comfortable signing, a safe signing, I think, Isaac Hayden, because you know he can do it in the Premier League. You know he can probably come in and play alongside Declan and stuff. But I would say it's not ambitious. But you ain't going to get any of them in January, I don't think. I don't think you're going to get an ambitious signing in January. You'd have to do something really, really clever in the transfer market to get someone in that is got a bit of wow factor about him. With that, I think you leave that for the summer. January is almost about patching up where you need patched up to get you through to the end of the season. And I think centre midfielder is that area, but I can't see us spending the 20 million odd pounds it would take to get Hayden out of Newcastle in January. Two more midfielders. The first one is Czech Decore. I mean, what a combination of names is that? I mean, I like that combination. Cecchiati and Watford's Decore merged together. You look like I've triggered a bit of a memory jog for you there. It might help
No.
me. He's a defensive midfielder from Lens, the French league. Again.
No, I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know him at all. I know Len. But I don't know whatever his name is. Decore. Did you say his name was?
Czech Decore.
Czech Decore. I don't know Czech Decore from Lens.
No, me neither. I do not know him either. As you remember from Cup of Tea a couple of nights ago, French league is not our league, unfortunately. But that's where the bargains are. Listen, this potential signing would excite me more than Wanyama, and it would excite me more than Joe Allen. It would probably excite me more than Isaac Hayden, because you know what you're getting with them. This player's he's got that unknown quantity. Can he do it or whatever? So I don't know how much about him. But the next guy I do know, you will know him as well. Ethan. Any bells ringing yet? I mean, it's an unusual first name for a footballer, isn't it? There's not many Ethans, is there?
No, there's so few, Geo. I can't think of any.
Ethan Ampadu.
Push pineapple, shake a tree.
Hey, you know Ethan Ampadu.
Do I?
He's Welsh, Joella's teammate in centre midfield. He's got the dreadlocks, the real funny.
What, for Wales? Obviously not for Stoke, for Wales.
For Wales, yeah. He's signed to Chelsea, but he's on loan at Leipzig at the minute. He's 19, but he's got the real big hair. Like, he's got hair like no one else has.
Well, I'm sure Chowdhury might argue with that. He's got more hair than Chowdhury.
Yes.
Has he really? That's a lot of hair.
Yeah. I mean, while I speak about him, go Google him if you want. I think if you look at him, it will jog your memory. Now this signing I quite
What's
like.
his name again?
Ethan.
Ampadu. Oh yes, that's right.
Ampadu. Ampadu.
Ethan Ampadu.
I think he'd be a clever signing, because this is the opportunity to get him this window. If you can break the loan out from Germany, because he's not playing for Leipzig. He's just not getting into that team, and that's no shame, because Leipzig are currently third in the league in Bundesliga, playing fantastic football. It's no shame not getting in there. But with the Welsh qualification, he's been very much pivotal playing centre midfield for them throughout the campaign. So 19 years of age, and I think if you leave him where he is, next season he might very well get his opportunity at Chelsea. Their transfer ban has been lifted. That might encourage them to sell in January if they can. Like I said, it depends on them being able to recall him from Germany. Can't see why they wouldn't. He's had a handful of appearances, and they've all been from the bench as well. He's someone I like. Whenever I watch Wales play, he's someone I think is a damn good player. He can play. naturally a centre back but can play defensive midfield. Does that remind you of anyone coming through the Chelsea and the ranks as well? But this is someone I would really, really like to get in, because I just think he's good. He's good defensively. He's good at reading the game. His passing's not that bad. He's a bit erratic with his fouling. He is a bit walking yellow card over a lot of games, but I like him, Gonzo. I really. So
this was on the radio show.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that is definitely a rumour I have not heard of, and it is exciting because he's young and he's up and coming. Would Chelsea sell him? They tend to not do, and if they do, they tend to sell at a premium, don't they? But that would be that would be more in keeping with what I would like to see happening. This is what I would consider to be scouting and player identification, rather than Joe Allen and Victor Wanyama.
But the thing is, if Joe Allen goes wrong, you're stuck, aren't you? You're stuck with him. But if this one goes wrong, you can still sell him and get a decent fee for him, or loan him out or whatever, and try and get him to learn somewhere else and stuff. I think this one's got a higher transfer fee, but less risk to an extent, and much greater reward as well. So he's someone I would really like us to move for. Right, from centre midfield to centre backs, you might be surprised I've been linked to a few centre backs, but on the radio show they insinuated that Winston Reid's pretty much, it's expected he's not going to play for us again. And there's 3. Aaron Long is not someone you'll remember, but someone been linked to before. He plays in MLS. We've been linked to him in the summer, Aaron Long. So we're not going to discuss him because we don't know him either. But the 2 players you will know, and they're both from the Premier League, and they're both from the same club. They're both from Brighton. Lewis Dunk and Shane Duffy. Who would you like to start with first?
Well, Dunk has almost metamorphosised as a player since the chap came in at Brighton. So he's gone from a stalwart, burly, thou shalt not pass defender to a guy that's bringing it out from the back. I don't know. It's almost like his game has been revolutionised. Actually, they were talking about the pair of them, both the 2 centre backs actually. When Chris Hughton was there, as a real way to, you're going to struggle to get past these guys. We've been lucky enough to go to Brighton. In fact, I think I've seen Brighton 4 times in the last 2 years, so seen lots of them. And yeah, I mean, they're not players I would have looked at. I wouldn't even have bothered with before, but actually I look now and there seems to be more to their game. Makes you wonder exactly. Well, I think probably shows you what a good job that manager's doing, that he can look at players who perhaps aren't known for being technically gifted and get more out of them. That being said, I do think we have players that can do that. I think we have Balbuena, I think, is good on the ball. I think Ogbonna can be good on the ball, and certainly Declan Rice, if he moves to central defence, he's going to be one of the best defenders in the league on the ball. I wouldn't get them for that. I would get them for that old reputation that they did have, which is being damn fine in the air and tackling and blocking and actually stuff like that, which perhaps we need, because aside from the odd occasion, we do have a very porous defence.
Yeah, I think the thing with Dunk is I think he's too expensive, Gonzo. How much do you think he would be? 25 million at least. I think you start at 25 and work up basically. Because when he was linked to Leicester, wasn't he? As soon as Maguire went, a lot of people were linking, and a lot of the rumours were saying 50, 60 million because they knew Leicester had all the money. But that's the premium you pay for an English centre back, isn't it? You pay the premium. So I just can't see the Dunk thing being realistic. I really can't, because that would be a summer signing. You're not going to get him in January, so it would be a summer signing. That would be at least half the kitty gone.
We don't need him.
No, I don't think so either. The only way that would have legs is if we're preparing to sell one of the centre backs, whether it's Balbuena or Diop, because I don't think Balbuena would command big money, whereas the other 2 I think would command a decent fee. So that's the only way I could see us going for him, but I just can't see it being true. Shane Duffy, however, I don't know if he's been dropped, but he's certainly not played the last few games. He's been playing with Webster. They obviously signed Webster in the summer, Brighton. They paid big money for Webster. He's been playing alongside Duncan, and the other centre back Burns been playing left back. So Duffy's sort of been on the sidelines a little bit, which makes me think that transfer, if we do need a centre back, is more Achievable. It would make you wonder why Potter doesn't want him. Does that mean that Duffy's crap with the ball? Is he or Burley centre back still, and Potter doesn't really like it and thinks, actually, I need my centre back to play football, and you're playing, well, Republic of Ireland football, aren't you? They know that's what they do. They defend and boot it forward and try and score. So with that, I don't know. It's a safest houses kind of signing, I think.
Has he switched formation then? Because he started the season playing three at the back.
The last few games, he's switched to four. He's been playing like a 4-3-3 kind of, because he's got Trossard and Gross in behind Mopé at the minute. That front three, so he's trying to work around the front three. I think it is working.
Oh, it might be that more than anything. You might well find that that's why he's out of the team. You know, he's not looking for three centre backs anymore, and he's just the one that's dropped out. But I would say it again. Yeah, we do not need a centre half at the moment. We've got to address, in my opinion, striker, central midfield, and right back.
Well, that's the centre backs done anyway. Speaking of right back, we'll move on to them because there's three names. One of them obviously we touched on the other night, which is Mankilo of Newcastle, who's free in the summer. One of the other ones, I mean, can you remember them? You remember the well, I've given you a clue with the position here. Remember the Southampton preview? Remember the one player I did not like from Southampton? The one player I said was crap.
No, what did you say?
Their right back, Cedric.
Oh, so we're linked with Cedric then. I do like the fact that Mankio is free, but of course that's what we like, is we don't learn from that. But of course we got
Cedric's free as well.
Free. Oh, there you go. And of course Fredericks was on a free
theme.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just keep getting free players, and then wonder why we've got a problem at right back.
Yeah, that's the other one. Cedric Suarez of Southampton. His contract's up in the summer. He's the other one we're supposedly looking at. Christ, no, please.
Oh, we're getting him as well.
Well, one or the other, I'd imagine. But please, just don't. No, I do not want to see Cedric at West Ham. Honestly, the Zabaleta leaving in the summer presents an opportunity. Okay, it presents you a vacant position in the squad. It allows you to get someone in without upsetting anyone. Because if you bring in a right back, left back, you go sign a left back, Masuaku and Creswell are standing there thinking, hang on about, there's three of us now. You've got an opportunity now. One's going. You need one. You absolutely need one. Take the opportunity to spend big on the right back finally and just get one in for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Yes.
Cedric ain't even the answer for the next 6 months. I am not convinced he's any better than Fredericks. I am really not. If you ask me who I prefer, it would be swings and roundabouts, because one's better. Some things are, and the other one's better than other things. It's just, I mean, after half of these rumours convinced me David Sullivan is not back in charge of transfers, because you're going to have a damn good hard time in your hands as well. But the other right back, there's one other right back. And this is where we go from one extreme to the other. Max Aarons. Now, we're big fans of him. Yeah. But how can you... What do you think his price is? Let's assume Norwich go down, okay? What do you think his price is?
If they go down,
yeah,
20 million.
Let's take 20 million. So, if you need a right back, how is your shortlist got 3? 2 are free, the other one's 20 million. How can you? I don't get it. If 20 million is your budget for right back, why are we not looking at 3 £20 million right backs? Why are we only looking at 1 and 2 free ones? It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it'll add up to Mr. Sullivan. We think we know which one he'll be taking.
Yeah, but it just does not make... It doesn't make sense. So I struggle to look at these and be convinced that we're going to spend big on a right back, because if we were linked with Max Aarons and 2 other right backs, an upcoming right back over in Germany and one upcoming right back in France, all big money, I think, okay, here we go, we're now finally going to splash the cash on right back. But considering it's 2 freebies and Max Aarons, I think, well, it's almost like Max Aarons is there as a bit of a red herring for fans, a little bit of false hope. You might get Max Aarons. I think they're almost hoping Norwich stay up. Say, well, if Norwich went down, we were going to get Max Aarons, but they didn't. They stayed up, so we've gone and got Cedric. Nah, I mean, but no, Max Aarons would be a no-brainer. It would be a no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, and probably one of the few players that we would have a chance of signing. Because whilst I said that Hayden is probably better off at Newcastle, because Newcastle are a better club than West Ham at the moment, I don't think there's any doubt about that, really. I think Norwich, we can sign players from Norwich, which is nice for us, which is obviously next level. But he is a fine player, and he's young. He's 19 or 20. He only gets better. He's got fantastic potential. He really does, and not just potential. He plays now, and I mean, I think that. I think he gets into our team right now, right this moment. He plays there, and sometimes you just got to speculate to accumulate, and there's nothing wrong with that, with spending that money, because you'll always get that back. At least if he becomes really good, then you have a situation like Crystal Palace had on their hands. I know Wan-Bissaka came through their academy, but if the big clubs start turning their attention to players like this, then you can start charging 50 million, or as Brighton were asking for Dunk, 60 million or whatever. It's really short term to try and go for that freebie. Actually, it is worth splashing out. You'll improve your team in the long run, and you'll have more money.
The other point I want to make about that is, I thought of it when you were speaking about it there. We don't have much competition. Leicester don't need a right back. They've got Pereira. Everton, they might do. It depends on what Ancelotti wants to do. But he's got Seamus Coleman there. He needs replaced. But they've got Sabidi on loan, who's impressing. So you'd have to assume they're going to try and keep Sabidi in there. Wolves have got Doherty, and Charlie can cover right wing back position. They don't play with an out and out right back. They play with the right wing back role. So when you look at our immediate rivals, you start to think, okay, well, we've not got a clean run at this, but I'll tell you what, we've got a bit of an advantage here, because other clubs just aren't looking at right backs. We're looking at right backs here, and you'd be silly not to take that opportunity if it may present itself to you. The other two other players we're not going to talk, we've discussed the other night, is Luka Jovic and Jaden Bowen, and then the last player that he's linked to coming in, who is currently on loan in Brazil, or it's come to an end, or coming to an end, is someone we've been linked with before, Gabriel Barbosa. Gabigol, I think that his nickname is.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. This is a signing I would have previously got excited about, but I'm a bit stale now, to be honest with you. I look at these players and they look the business, and Brazilian striker, yeah, whoopie-doo. I'm not so bothered anymore. I got to be honest with you. I think, well, why was he sent out on loan? He's obviously sent out on loan for a reason. If he couldn't hack it in the Italian league, he possibly ain't going to be able to hack it in the Premier League. And after everything that's happened this season, I still want us to go for quality, and I still want us to go for exciting players. Max Aaron's exciting player, attacks a lot. But I do want us to get a few more homegrown players in, because I just think there's more of certainty that they work out, or at least you know what you're going to get from them. And there are plenty. You've only got to look at the England under 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s, all the way up, all through the age group. There's a lot of good young players coming through. Not just England either. I mean, Wales have got loads of real, quite particularly wide players. Wales, actually, and the home nations are producing better players now. And I know he's not the same position, and I know we can't get him now. But I say it because I did speak about him when he was in the lower division, which was Jack Grealish, and you've got to go there. So there is quality there. You've got to go and find it. And do you know what? And I know we said about watching YouTube, doing a Gonzo and FIFA players and all the rest of it. And then whilst it was a good laugh and so on and so forth, I do consider someone like this to be a YouTube player. I'm sure he does play real games, but it is one of those. It's a FIFA player. It's a YouTube player. I don't want one. I want a real player that we know about. So it would be a no for me.
I think he'd do okay short term. I'll loan option between now and the summer, because I'm very wary. I don't think we're going to spend much, if any, money in January. So I think it's going to be a case of who can you get in on loan, who's the best you can get in on loan. I've not watched the boy. I've not watched him, but I like my stats, and I believe the Brazilian league's just finished. I believe he just broke the record for the amount of goals scored in a season. The goals the same size in Brazil as over here. The style of football is different, of course, but you're buying a guy now that, we just often discuss on this about how confidence and momentum is massive. Well, you'd be getting a guy in whose confidence and goal scoring momentum is sky high. He'd come in pounding his chest, thinking, "I'm gonna come in here and score loads of goals." I think he's got a bit of not an attitude on him, but he's got a bit of something about him, because he's basically the reason this is realistic is because he's basically saying, "I'm not going back to Inter Milan. I'm not going back there. I just don't think he's just not worked for him." He's basically saying, "You're gonna have to loan me out or something, because I ain't coming back." Loan deal I'd be all for it. I wouldn't want to spend big bucks on him, because it would cost big money. He's 23 years old. He's Brazilian and stuff. You know, everything's shaping up for a big fee, so I wouldn't want to do that. But in terms of loan, I think his beggars can't be choosers, Gonzo. I'm not saying we should be in this situation, but I think that's a situation for January. When you look at some of these names, Begovic is a freebie, Mankelo freebie, Wanyama cheap or loan. It's just a bit.
Yeah, I've gone on about it for so long. There's three things I'd be asking before I signed any player, because of everything that's happened to us. And there's three things that I'll be scouting for before I even looked at whether they could kick a ball. So I'll be saying, can he speak English? It doesn't have to be fluent, but can he speak English? Sebastian Haller, for instance, can speak English. It's going to help you. It's going to help you settle. What's his character like? What's he like? What sort of a bloke is he? Is he a laugh? Is he moody? Is he quiet? I'd be looking for someone a bit bubbly as well. And what's his fitness record? So I'll be scouting for those things as well. Injuries, character, and his capacity to communicate. Little things. You don't want him to come over and to be homesick, for instance, stuff like that. Pellegrini's an exceptional example, isn't he? Of course, because he's left his wife in Chile. But we heard when Tevez was here, Tevez didn't bring his family over, and it took him ages. I think that Tevez's missus had the kids over in Argentina. That stuff has got to be scouted for before you bring people over. So I know beggars can't be choosers. I know, and you say it's only a loan deal, but it's still a loan deal can still cost millions and millions, and we've got to get all that stuff right. And once you've ticked those boxes, right, okay, then we'll get the next one. But is he quick? And I would sort of reverse engineer and work backwards on that, really. So I think there would be an awful lot that I'd want to know, which you're just not going to know from a YouTube video, by the way. Particularly those first three questions. I guess you could find out his injury record easy enough, but
well, it might be
I don't know enough about him.
In order to fulfil your requirements, it might be stretching our 7 scouts, you know.
It might. Maybe they could send 2 of them over there.
And there's a few questions about who we think might be leaving in January. We're going to do that in a different video. Gonzo's got a video coming out tomorrow lunchtime, which may or may not touch on that subject. And we'll do another video on this channel as well about players leaving. But there's a few questions about players coming in and such like, which we'll touch on now before we wrap this up. Andy Walsh, what do you think the January budget will be? Because at the end of the day, that's the key question, isn't it? I'm going to say 10 million. And
okay, I surprised you a bit with that. For the moment, I'll answer that with, I think you've got to imagine it is going to be at least X. We've got the Chicharito money, which is additional money, but our net spend is low. But it's so hard to predict what the owners are going to do. We've got money there. Are they going to take it out in January? It's hard to say. I wouldn't say that you're particularly wrong with the 10 million, Gio.
I honestly think that's what it'll be. I think it'll be 10 million. I think we might get in 1 player and a loan player. We might get in 2 players, a loan and a permanent deal, and I think it'll come to about 10 million quid. Right, there's a few other questions. Let me just, forgive me now, I'm just scrolling to find it. And this is the other key question. I think the first one was budget, and this is the other second one from KPFWT. I'm kind of lost in all this. Do you know who's actually in charge of our transfers now? Usulos, Sullivan Senior, Sullivan Junior. Now let's just part the Sullivan Junior thing, okay? Because we both covered it, blah blah blah. Whether he's involved or not, he's not in charge of the budget, is he? He's not got the ultimate say. But the ultimate say comes down to 2 people: Usulos and Sullivan, or Usulos or Sullivan, should I say? Reading through these names, it would sort of make you think it's perhaps David Sullivan back in charge, Gonzo. Gonzo's frozen. We've lost him. We've lost Gonzo. It's all right. Gonzo will be back in a minute. But what I will say is, I do think we've this. If all these targets are true, it does concern me a little bit, because out of all of these, you've got Decore in there and Sander Burge. They're sort of far afield, obscure people who the man on the street might not know. But the rest of them, the man on the street is aware of. We're all aware of Duffy, Dunk, Mankilo, Cedric. It doesn't take much thought process. I'm just reading KP's comment there. John Italiano, what a name that is. John Italiano 1985 kindly donated some money to the super chat, and it says Merry Christmas, thanks for the videos. And KP just said that Gonzo's took the money and ran. Well, he's disappeared. He's not bringing me back on Skype like he should be, so I don't know where he's gone. We'll try and get him back in a second. But then I'll go through any more questions, so keep them coming.
You ditched me.
Oh, you're back now. Gonzo's back now. It's okay. Can you hear us okay? Oh, he's disappeared again. His Skype's not working very well. He's disappeared again. Right, we'll give it another go. Gonzo's ringing me this time. You're back.
I'm back.
For now. Can you hear us okay? No, it's not working, is it? Right, let me ditch Gonzo, then I'll just start wrapping this one up. It's alright, we'll ditch Gonzo now. I'll start wrapping this one up, but thanks for the people that put in the questions. We'll have to get that to another time after Gonzo's Skype. We'll blame Skype. We'll blame Gonzo, but we'll blame Skype for this one. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us on this Talk West Ham. If you want to get involved, Talk West Ham may be your show. It's maybe where you ring in and have your say. I want to do more of them, but to do that we need people to get involved, and it is a bit daunting coming on a live stream and stuff, but there's no video, it's audio only. You ring in and you just see me and Gonzo, maybe Gonzo, depends if he decides to join us for this stream or not, and you have your say and your opinion, and we give you the questions, so you don't need to, when you come in with an opinion, one sentence will do. It's up to me and Gonzo to get a conversation out of you. So if you want to get involved in future, just email us, hammerschat@gmail.com, because well, we need you guys to get involved, otherwise we can't really do them. And we would like to do them because we want to hear from more people. The people that we've had on as guests have been fantastic, with likes of Frankie, Mike, Jazz, Nikki co-hosted one with me as well, Chris Akabisi was on. But the guests have been brilliant, the guests have been really, really good. So more of your opinions, please. Gonzo's video will be up tomorrow lunchtime as always. We were due to have a video up tomorrow night, and it's a good video. It's a different idea, it's pretty good, but it's my fault. I was meant to send it to Charlie to edit in. I've taken a little bit too long to do that, so it won't be up tomorrow night. But there might be a different video going up instead. But anyway, thank you for joining us on this. Luckily, you got all the transfer rumours before Gonzo decided to disappear. Catch you in a bit. Cheerio!